So welcome to day 5 of the 5-day embodiment experience. And today on the final day, we have, day 1 through 4 was about releasing. And this is about release as well, but more so about remembering. We move into the heart today. And the emotion that's associated with the heart is joy. So this is about remembering joy today. Our heart, I imagine most of us know, but we'll just cover it real quick. It lies, it's in our chest, but it lies a little bit more to the left of our chest, which is why we often hear, like when you're pledging to a flag or something, they'll take your right hand and put it over your heart, because the heart is slightly to the left of the chest. And the human heart is an organ that pumps blood throughout the entire body via the circulatory system. It supplies oxygen and nutrients to the tissues. And it's also part of helping remove carbon dioxide and other wastes. The meridian that is associated with the heart, it runs on both of our hands. It runs up the pinky and into the center of the armpit. So very similar to the lungs from yesterday. And again, that meridian runs on both sides of the arms. Now, in traditional Chinese medicine, the imbalance of Chi in the heart is expressed in 2 ways. It's either too much agitation and like a restlessness, or it's too little. So you're in this space of inertia, maybe even depression. And when we have this imbalance of Chi in our heart meridian, it creates, as you can imagine, a lack of enthusiasm and vitality. So today, our embodiment practice is all about bringing energy and moving energy in this particular channel. So to start, and I'm gonna move through this part fairly quick because I want us to get right into the embodiment practice, which also includes a little storytelling. But I think this is really essential and also really interesting. There's actually a lot of science, as you can imagine. A lot of research has been done around joy and happiness in the science world, because everyone wants a piece of that, right? Everyone wants to feel joy and happiness in their life. So therefore, there's been researchers for a long time really studying this. And one of the pieces of research that I find fascinating is the science behind unlocking your natural joy. So there are these neurotransmitters and hormones that get released in our body when we participate in certain activities. And there's actually a little, it's an acronym, but the word is D.O.S.E, which is really interesting. And the hormones that create this acronym D.O.S E, D-O-S-E, are dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. Pretty cool, right? That these 4 hormones actually create the acronym D.O.S E. So it's like getting a dose of happiness, a dose of joy. And things that release this dose in our bodies are things like the things we've been doing on this journey, things like exercise, breath work, connecting with others, moving the subtle energy body. So acupuncture, things like that, which we have been doing in different ways. You can move the energy in the body, the subtle body, in many different ways. Self-massage, the self-myofascial release we've been doing. Creativity, so things like writing. You know, we've been ending this practice doing creative writing, insight journaling, dance, which we'll be engaging in today, laughter. So all of these things, and other things as well, like hugs and eye gazing, these things release D.O.S.E in our body. And these hormones and neurotransmitters, they're involved in a lot of really essential processes in our body, things like our heart rate and our digestion, but they're also involved in our mood and our feelings. So I'm going to briefly just go through a little bit of what each one is doing for you. We're not going to go deep into the science, but if this is something that's interesting to you, you can certainly look it up. So dopamine, it plays a function in how we feel pleasure. That's what dopamine does. It's all about our drive, our pleasure, and our reward system. So when we release dopamine in our body, we feel this sense of motivation, a sense of drive, and it's coming from a good place, a pleasurable place, not drive from pain, but drive from a sense of reward and pleasure. Now, oxytocin is a hormone known as the bonding hormone. Oftentimes women release that when they give birth and when they're breastfeeding, right? So that they can bond with their child. And this hormone generates feelings of trust, empathy, and connection. It's like that warm, fuzzy feeling. It's openness. It's that open heart, I want to connect with you kind of feeling. Serotonin is a key hormone, and you might hear a lot of yoga teachers talk about serotonin in particular. And one of the main reasons is that while this is, a brain neurotransmitter, it's estimated that 90% of the body's serotonin is actually made in the digestive tract. So a lot of times yoga teachers will talk about that. And this serotonin stabilizes our mood. It creates feelings of well-being and happiness. I like to think of serotonin as the hormone that softens us. We feel the sense of well-being. My mood is stabilized. I feel softened. And then endorphins helps us deal with stress, and it also diminishes the perception of pain. It diminishes the perception of pain. And a lot of times endorphins are associated with pleasure. And that's because when we release endorphins, we're also increasing our dopamine production. And as I said before, dopamine is all about pleasure. And endorphins, I like to just think of endorphins as energizing. This is when we feel like enlivened and energized. So endorphins energize, serotonin softens, oxytocin opens us, and dopamine creates drive. Pretty interesting stuff, right? And it's amazing that we can release this entire dose. This is really a formula for us unlocking joy in our body. And today I want us to get right into the embodiment practice so we can not just be in our heads about joy, but we can actually feel it. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get our playlist. And just like yesterday, while this practice can be done totally in silence if that rocks your boat, particularly day 4 and day 5 will feel much more alive and true with the playlist. So for those of you who are here live, it was emailed to you and it's also in the chat. And if you're watching this in the replay, you can grab the playlist below. And let's go ahead. What we'll do is I'm going to start mine as well. And then let's just go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we'll all start together. So go ahead and just take a moment to pull up your playlist if it's not already there. Okay, we ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start that first song. Okay. So I am going to open up by telling you a little story, which is the secret to happiness, the perfect story for today. And this comes from the incredible book, The Alchemist, by Paulo Coelho. I might be saying his last name a little bit off, but The Alchemist, a great book. And there's a beautiful story in this book called The Secret to Happiness. So this story takes place, there's this poor shopkeeper, and he decides to send his son off to go meet this man who's considered the wisest man in the world, and to ask this wise man, what is the secret to happiness? And so he sends him off, and like most stories that entail someone going to a wise man, this young boy has to venture through woods and cross rivers and just go through so much to get there. And so he does all that, and he finally lands at this wise man's home. And it kind of shocks him because he thought it'd be just like maybe this humble cave, but instead it was this grand palace, this gigantic palace. And he goes in and he doesn't see a man like meditating in the corner. Instead, he sees so much going on. There's like parties and jugglers and tons of food out. And he sees the wise man over there and tons of people are talking to him. And there's just so much going on. there's so much going on that it takes him a couple hours before he can even get up to the wise man and speak to him. And finally he does. And he says to the wise man, I've traveled far and wide to come and meet you. My father sent me, and I'm here to discover what the secret of happiness is. And the wise man looks at him and he says, okay, well, I don't have time to tell you the secret of happiness right now, but I will in a couple of hours. So how about you go wander through my palace? There's so much to see, so much to do. Come back in a couple hours. But before you go do that, take this teaspoon that I have filled with this really special oil. And can you keep an eye out for me? Watch that oil. So the boy's like, okay. He takes this little teaspoon filled with this very special oil and goes on his way, right? Like, all right, sounds okay. So after a couple hours, he comes back, he goes to the wise man. He says, okay, it's been a couple hours. And the wise man says, so did you see my palace? And he says, I have to be honest with you. I was so focused on this teaspoon of oil that I really didn't. I wandered around, but I was just so focused on the teaspoon of oil that I really didn't see anything. And the wise man says, well, that's not going to work. You need to go and see my palace. You want me to tell you the secret of happiness, and you haven't even seen my home. So please go take that oil, take yourself, and go explore the palace. So this time the young boy does that. He goes and he explores the palace, right? And he comes back a couple hours later, goes to the wise man, and the wise man says, did you see my palace? The boy says, yes. And he tells the wise man all the things he saw, the incredible tapestries from Morocco, the incredible performances, the incredible garden. He's like, oh, it was just so magnificent. I saw so much. And the wise man says, wonderful, this is wonderful. So tell me, where is the teaspoon of oil? And the boy looks down and is like, oh my gosh, I was so preoccupied and got so caught up in seeing your palace that I forgot about the oil and I must have spilled it. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And this is when the wise man says, well, I think this is a perfect time to share with you the secret of happiness. And I actually wrote down the exact words from the book. It's so good. He says, the secret of happiness is to see all the marvels of the world and never forget the drops of oil on the spoon. The secret of happiness is to see all the marvels of the world and never forget the drops of oil on the spoon. And the moral of this story is that when we get too caught up and focused on the extrinsic external things like what others think, the shoulds, outcomes, worth by accolades or accumulation, we're just focused on all of the external things, we lose ourselves. Because that oil represented the boy, the palace represented the world. But if you only focus on yourself, you miss seeing the world. So the secret to happiness is being able to be in the world, with the world, see the marvels of the world, and still stay connected to yourself and your truth. While the answer to happiness is easy, right? Or simple, I should say. It's a simple answer. It's not an easy practice. So today, this is why we get on the mat. This is why we do this work, so that we can have this safe space to really practice while these simple philosophies, but they're not easy. They take practice. So as you practice today, see if you can stay aware of your extrinsic external environment, but also stay connected to your body, your truth, your sensation, your breath. Okay? And with that being said, let's go ahead and come to a stand. Come to a stand. Just give me a moment to let some people in here. Okay, so we're going to begin with a little breath of joy. So it goes like this. All right. Sorry, I had to get a little caught up here. So the breath of joy, you're going to stand a little bit wide with your knees a little soft and strong in your core and your center. And the breath of joy is 3 breaths. You fill the belly first, then the rib cage, then the sternum. There's 3 inhales. And again, the first inhale fills the belly, the second, the rib cage, and the third, the chest. And it looks like this. Through the nose, 3 inhales. Watch the first one. Ah. And then the exhale, as you saw, I sweep my arms behind me, I stick my butt out behind me, and I go, ha. And we're gonna do that for the rest of the song, which has about a minute or so. So let's all begin. Ready? Here we go. 3 inhales through the nose. And a ha. Keep it going. Ha. 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 You're doing great. Keep it up. Ha. 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 Almost there. Ha. 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 One more. Ha. And then come to stand, put your hands on your body, and just take a moment, notice what you're noticing and feel what you're feeling. And those of you who just came in a little bit late, welcome. We're on song number 3 in the playlist. Okay, let's come on to our floor, our mat, find a little downward facing dog here. Take a couple moments and pedal that out. Really let your head go, let the neck muscles release, ears alongside the upper arm bones. Just move and breathe and land in this in a way that feels right in your body in this moment. This could be your first down dog of the day, the week, or your 10th. Let's see, no matter what, if you can land here as though there is a preciousness to it. Really marvel in the sensation, marvel in the experience. Good, and then lower your knees to the mat and press back child's pose. So today we're working with the heart. We're really gonna get the heart rate going today. Opening up, yes, the upper back and the upper chest, but a lot of getting the blood pumping. Good. Now from here, just watch what we're gonna do. As you inhale, you're gonna come on up to all 4s, tuck your toes. As you exhale, rock forward on your knees. The elbows are gonna rub right against the rib cage. As you exhale, lower down, maybe touch your nose to the mat. Inhale, press back up, and exhale, press back child's pose with the toes tucked. I'll guide the breath again. Inhale, rise up all 4s, rock forward on your tippy toes, shoulders beyond the fingers. As you exhale, lower down, maybe touch your nose to the mat. Inhale, come on up, and exhale, press back. So you're gonna continue like that a few rounds, really just starting to build up heat around the upper back and upper chest, and really throughout the entire body, clearing that channel that goes from the pinky into the armpit, and also creating heat in that upper back and upper chest. And find a pace that works for you. Maybe you flow with the beat of the music. Maybe your body takes you at a different pace altogether. So we're gonna let this repetitive movement not only build heat, I'm sure you're feeling it by now, I know I am, but also create this moment of reprieve and extension as you press back to child's pose. And move as slow as you need to. Take breaks. So if you're feeling a bit more lethargic today, maybe you hold in child's pose a bit longer, or maybe because you feel lethargic, you push yourself a little bit more to burn away some of that stagnation. Good. Continue just like that. Couple more breaths. You got this. Beautiful. Keep it going. Another 5, 4, 3, 2, and then this time untuck your toes and press back to child's pose and just hold. It might feel good to draw the knees together and then slide your arms back alongside your legs and just let the shoulders relax. Good. And now you're slowly going to start to bring your hands back forward. Come back up to all fours. We're going to come into puppy pose. So your hips will be over top of your knees, toes tucked, and then just walk your arms forward on tented fingers as I'm doing, and let your heart melt towards the earth. You maybe will bring your chin to the earth or your third eye. You're going to feel this opening really dynamically across the upper back and upper chest. Two more breaths here. Good. Now slowly start to slide your hands back and find your way into downward facing dog once again. Good. Pedal out your feet. Beautiful. Now from here, slowly begin to walk your hands back towards your feet so that you're just folded over your legs, really opening up the posterior chain of your body. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Grab opposite elbows, chin towards chest, and just let yourself dangle here. Now let's deepen this a little bit. So take your peace fingers, wrap them around your big toes. Inhale, lengthen the spine, heart reaches forward, scapulas draw towards the low back. And as you exhale, bend the elbows in opposite direction as you reach the crown of the head towards the earth, just feeling more of a dynamic opening in the back of the legs. Keep feeling the shoulders draw up the back. And we'll stay here just 3 more breaths. Notice what you're noticing, feel what you're feeling. All right, bend your knees deeply, chin to chest. Take an inhale, drawing your low belly in and up to protect your low back. As you exhale, wave the spine up vertebrae by vertebrae by vertebrae. As you inhale, float the arms out and around, up overhead, palms touch. And then as you exhale, bend the elbows, touch the back of your heart. Bring it forward to the front of your heart as you bend your knees and fold over your legs. Fingertips touch the earth. Inhale, wave the spine up halfway. And as you exhale, walk back out, downward facing dog. Good. Let's just take a couple standing poses. Extend the right leg in the air. Rise high to the ball of the left foot. And as you exhale, step the right foot in between your hands. Find a strong, stable, low lunge. Feel your heart extending forward. The heel of that back left foot is over the ball of the foot. From your core, rise up high, crescent lunge. Reach your arms up overhead and breathe here. Good. Take an inhale. Feel your inner thighs scissoring towards each other as you straighten your front leg. And then as you exhale, cactus your arms out and bend your front knee. Feel your heart lifting. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, straighten the front leg, reach both arms up overhead. Maybe your thumbs touch. And then this time, as you exhale, bend your elbows, cactus your arms, and then bring them down to frame your front foot. Step back to plank, top of a push-up. Feel strong here. And then exhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Go ahead, extend the left leg in the air. Let's do that same thing on the left side. Step that left foot in between your hands. Find a strong, steady, low lunge. Back heel on top of the ball of the foot. And then from your core, rise up, high crescent lunge. Breathe here. Take an inhale, inner thighs scissor as you straighten the front leg. Reach, reach, reach. As you exhale, bend that front knee, cactus your arms out, lift your heart. One more time like that. Inhale, straighten that front leg, rise up. As you exhale, bend the front knee, cactus the arms. Slowly frame the front foot. Step back plank. This time rock forward on your tippy toes. As you exhale, either lower all the way or halfway chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or baby cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Whew. Lower the knees. All right, and let's move on. So this next one that we're gonna do is gonna build heat. Hopefully you're already starting to feel it, that opening and the heat. I want us to get our heart pumping. So we've got a song with rhythm here. Feel that rhythm and come into plank. Here we go, my friends. So strong plank, rib cage is knitting in. Bring your hands under your shoulders. You're gonna step your right foot to the outside of your right hand and float your right arm up. Then lower your right hand to the earth, step back to plank. Let's do that same thing on the left side. Step the left foot to the outside of the left hand, float the left arm up, twisting, and come on down. Modification would be to have your knees on the earth, step, twist, come back to center, back to all fours, step to the left side, twist, come back. Wherever you are, meet yourself where you're at. Remember, the secret to happiness, as I told that story, is to be able to witness the marvels of the world while paying attention to the teaspoon. Let's go, breathe. At your own pace. Again, maybe you follow the rhythm of this song, which will give you a little space here if you're following the beat and the rhythm. Maybe there's a little bounce or a little rock. Stick with it because soon we're going to be able to shake all this out. Keep it going. Really feel that heart rate starting to pick up, the blood moving through the body, the oxygen expanding. Just a few more, you got this. Maybe let some sound out. Ha! You got this. This is not about no pain, no gain. This is not even about working out. This is about moving energy. This is about releasing that dose that we talked about earlier. This is about listening to your body. This is about meeting yourself with grace during challenge. Let's do 2 more on each side. Hello. The rest of your day. Okay. Press back, downward facing dog. Hallelujah. And walk your hands back towards your feet. Bend the knees deeply and roll on up. All right, my friends. Probably feels good to get the weight off the shoulders. And now for the rest of the song, what I want you to do is let the rhythm, let the beat move you. So start with a little rocking, a little bouncing, a little shaking, letting the arms loose. Right now, this isn't so much about dancing as it is about just finding that looseness, letting spontaneity take over. Maybe you let some sound out, maybe you get low to the ground. Good. Okay, so you've shaken it out a little bit. Now you're gonna take your right hand and make a fist. On the outside of the arm, you're gonna just go up, do little rocks. Then flip your arm up, over, and go down all the way to the wrist. All right, do that one more time. Banging on the top of the arm, flip the arm over, and bang on down the arm. Good, shake that out. Now make a fist with your right hand, starting at the shoulder, bang down the arm. Flip, bang up the arm. Flip, bang down the arm. Flip, bang up the arm. And shake that out. Let your shoulders go. So notice in this moment of shaking and rocking and rattling, where you're stiff. So sometimes for us, it's in our shoulders. So wiggle them out, open, close, roll them. Sometimes it's in our hips. We're just kind of, and let the hips go. Move them side to side, circle them around. Sometimes we don't know how to move our feet off one spot and we're just rooted. So if that's your case, let yourself move. Good. I don't know about you guys, but I am feeling my heart rate go. I'm getting sweaty. I'm imagining the energy, the chi moving from the center of my heart out my arm and clearing those channels, those rivers that keep me from feeling joy. Good. So if you're in your head going, this is weird, I feel weird, she looks weird, that's okay. It is a little weird, but let go of that, you know, free yourself, liberate yourself from the edit. I promise you, if you want more joy in your life, then liberate yourself from the edit. Let that be a mantra. Just a couple more minutes of this song, a couple more minutes of bouncing, shaking. Shaking is such a beautiful somatic practice, releases trauma, releases stuck energy. Find a shake, a wiggle. Whoo. Here, there's no right or wrong. There's just sensation. There's just breath. There's just the moment. And then come to center, hands on your body. And breathe. Notice what you're noticing. Feel what you're feeling here. Notice what emotions have stirred up. Is there resistance or is there excitement? Is there resistance or is there openness? Is there resistance or is there curiosity? Did you let yourself move enough that you can feel your body breathing you and your heart beating behind your chest, reminding me that your life, or reminding you, and reminding me, myself, but reminding us that our life is happening right now. Now for this song, less than 3 minutes, my friends. This is for you to dance. This is for you to move and express without guidance. Just let the music, the rhythm flow. Close your eyes and just move. Again, surrender the edit. Liberate yourself from the edit. Have fun. Lift your spirits. There's scientific studies that show if we bring our arms up overhead, we start to feel more joyful. Let's sound out. Give yourself permission to smile, to bounce, to get it wrong. I'm so glad you're here with me. I'm so glad we're starting our day like this together. Feel the gratitude, feel the energy. The song is saying, let go, let go. All right, we're gonna pick it back up one more time. You got another shot here, let go. All right, we're in this together, let's do it. All right. And there we go. Feel your heart. Feel your body activated. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, come to standstill. Hands on body. Whew. Notice what you're noticing, feel what you're feeling here. And if emotions are coming up, whatever they are, honor them. They're all teachers here to keep us on our path. All right. So we're going to do a heart clearing. Looks like this. The arms are open. And you open and close. And for the length of this song, this is what we're doing. And just like the other practices, you meet yourself where you're at. Pace, movement. You can sit as I'm sitting on your shins. You can stay standing. You can sit on a chair. We're just moving the chi, the prana, the energy, the river stream up and down our arms through our heart. Good. Stay connected to your breath and let this music move through you. For some reason, whenever I do heart clearing, it must be, to connect to so close to our lungs, but it also does snot clearing for me. Keep it going. Your arms will be sore tomorrow, but it's good. It'll remind you of this practice for more than the hour that you're in it, and keep you hooked on joy for a little bit longer. More than halfway there. Keep breathing. Good. Let it go by until you reach the other side. Another 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold the arms open for a moment. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, let the arms float down on your lap. Relax the shoulders, relax the jaw. Notice what you're noticing, feel what you're feeling here. So much energy circulating all around. Just notice that. The beautiful thing about this experience is each day we're only moving 30 minutes at most. That's it. And yet there's so much that can happen, so much opening, so much releasing in just 30 minutes. All right, find your 2 tennis balls. We will close with some self-myofascial release on the upper back so that we stimulate the heart chi. 3 spots. We'll start in the uppermost part of our back, just below the nape of our neck. And you'll seat it underneath your back, lying on your back. Just slide it in between the right scapula and the spine and the left. And lie yourself down. Place them under. If they're too high, you're going to not feel it, or it's going to feel like they're slipping out. So make sure you get them there in a way that you're like, okay, I feel that. Whew. Knees bent, feet on the ground. Walk your feet a little wider than hip distance apart, and then knock the knees towards each other and melt the spine towards the earth. If you want to explore sensation, you can do that. Maybe let your arms float up overhead, back behind you. You might feel some crunchies as you do that. I just did. There's really no right or wrong. You're just letting sensation be your teacher and guide you here. All right, my friends, you're going to slide the tennis balls down. You can either do as I'm doing right now, reach over top and just push it down an inch on either side. Or another way to do that is to lift your head, lift your hips, and slide your body an inch up. This second spot, you have more sensation because there's more body weight. So settle slowly, relax your legs, melt the spine. Use your breath like a soft caress to relax onto the tennis balls. And again, feel free to use your arms to explore sensation. Today we're just hitting 2 spots. Let's just stay there one more moment. And then as you feel ready, you're going to remove the tennis balls out from underneath you and come into Shavasana. And the poem that I'm reading to you today, again, was written by me. It's called Trust Your Heart. No matter how many times it has been broken open, no matter the personal hurts, wounds, lies you've lived with, no matter the stories, the circumstances, the justifications, trust your wild, precious, truth-telling heart. Trust what it wants to create, whether that be a painting, a poem, a business, a baby, a home. It's all a work of art if it comes from the depths of your honest, holy heart. In your own time, in your own way, you'll take a moment to stretch. Maybe let everything go after you stretch and just fall on the floor. The arms open up in a cactus shape and just feel that open, feel that expansion. And then as you feel ready, slowly come on up to a seat. Maybe grab a sip of water as I'm doing. And then grab your journal. and your pen. If you'd like some music playing for this body talk process, again, it's over in the chat, different playlist that is a playlist called Writing Music for Focus. And again, the people watching this later, it's down below in the description. You can go ahead and play that now or let this last prompt happen in silence. It's just up to you. I'm going to go ahead and share it on the screen. So here it is. If my heart gave me a pep talk, what would it say? Isn't that a beautiful, beautiful prompt? If my heart gave me a pep talk, what would it say? I'm going to go ahead and hold space here with you all for 5 minutes. So together we will inquire into our heart and see what kind of pep talk it has for us. I'm right here with you. All right, my friends. So as always, if there's more to pour out, continue writing. I want to thank you so much for your presence and your willingness to go on this journey for 5 days. And thank you so much. It was a beautiful experience for me. I hope that you gained wisdom. I hope that you were able to release things. I hope that you were able to gain insight through the journaling. And if this really resonated with you, then I encourage you just to learn more about me. Go visit me at my website, ambercampion.com, to see what I'm up to in my world. I'm on social media, YouTube and Instagram mostly. And I hope to be connecting with all of you more. Thank you so much.